I don't know what that was. I have no idea what that was about, but welcome to another fabulous episode of our podcast.
That's a good way to put it.
Doesn't it have a name?
Yeah, it actually does have a name.
It's the Twin Amphitheater Podcast.
Yeah, it's the Endsville Twin Amphitheater
Fuck!
Podcast. Damn! You missed it. Hey, it's all good.
One of these days I'm going to get it right. But the Endsville Twin Amphitheater, welcome back. We are happy to be here, and I am very excited for this episode because it's a movie that I've never seen, and it's a movie that I would like to talk about with the man himself.
We have a special guest. In case you're wondering, you're like, wait a second, that's not Sean. Who is that? Well, Sean is here. Renee is here.
Yeah.
And now we have our special guest. You can introduce yourself.
The name.
There he is, guys. The name. The mysterious the name. No, it's the man himself, Seth Johnson. Welcome.
That's what's up.
Yay!
Good to have you.
Good to have you. You're our second guest. We had Jake last time.
How many of these have y'all done?
Oh, we've done like.
This is like,
we can't discuss it because then people would be expecting other movies. Look, we've lost some stuff. Let's just be honest. So today, basically, we're going to be talking about Creed, not the second one. I mean, you probably wish we were doing the second one since it just came out, but we're doing the first one.
Yeah.
And it's basically like the seventh sequel to Rocky. So it's basically the seventh sequel to Rocky, and it's about Adonis Creed, the son of Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
So let's basically get into it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it.
So the movie basically starts off, and we've got a little kid. And that's kind of what I remember, right?
He's a little badass.
He's a little.
Yeah.
What did you see, Seth? What was he doing?
Well, he was kicking somebody's ass.
They never even talk about who he's kicking ass, bro.
I mean, it's not really important who it was, but it was brutal.
Yeah,
it was so brutal. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It starts out in a, I guess, juvenile center.
Yeah, it's like a juvenile center.
And we start out with like the guards lining up the children, and then I guess something breaks out and they hold them down and they push them down or whatever. And then they go into another scene, which is all, by the way, in one shot. And they go into this scene where there's a big ass brawl. And that is our first introduction.
Yeah, you're not too sure if that's Adonis Creed at first. You're kind of like, who's this kid? Yeah. And you see him like at first he's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing him take some punches, and he's like, "What the hell?" Turns the kid over, and this is what Seth was talking. He just starts wailing on this kid in the face, like not even body shots, just face shots. The kid hits the floor, and then like basically like the security guards take him away, pull him away, put him like in a little cell by himself, that's kind of crazy. And they kind of just look at him, right? And then apparently a woman walks in.
A woman that I do not know about.
Yeah, you're kind of confused. You're like,
who is this
You're
person?
like, she just seems familiar.
She's a social worker, or
but
who is she?
Yeah, you end up finding out her name's Marianne, and she's basically the ex-wife, well, the wife of Apollo Creed. But unfortunately, we all know that Apollo Creed is gone.
Yeah. Right. So now I haven't seen any of the Rocky movies at all.
Yeah.
Was she in any of the previous films?
See, it's like a blur. I believe she is. I think she's in definitely Rocky 3. Or not Rocky 3, Rocky 4, because that's the infamous movie for Apollo Creed's death. In case it's a spoiler alert.
Okay.
But yeah, she's basically like a real important role, I guess, in probably the previous Rocky movies. I just don't necessarily remember. Don't kill me if I'm wrong, but I do remember. I do believe she is in the old Rocky movies.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so she introduces herself. She tells basically like Adonis Creed, like, "Hey, I was with your father, and I basically know who your father was," and he was like shocked. And I'm guessing basically what she was doing was she was taking him in as like a foster kid, right? That's basically what she was doing. Right?
That's not funny, but
no, we're not gonna laugh at that. But yeah. So yeah, basically you see that he's taken in as like a foster kid, if I am correct, right?
That's what that.
Yeah, well,
that's how it looks.
And on this moment, you can see like Adonis Creed, who is still tense from everything that he just been through. You know, he just went through a brawl, and now he's like held up in his like under solitary, so he's just like still pissed off at whatever the hell he got into. And like when she comes in, what was her name again? Marianne. When Marianne comes in, she's just like pretty much just like, what happened? And Adonis is like, ain't nobody gonna talk about my mama. And so you know that's pretty spot on in the terms of like a child's adolescent's mind. Like something triggers them off, and then boom, that's it. They're fucking
And you kind of figure out he's Adonis too, because from that scene on, it shows you like him as a grown up. Yeah.
Immediately after this, Marianne says like,
you're introduced to him basically in like his own job.
Yeah.
Like he's basically like an office worker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has like the worst. I mean, he's probably getting paid very well, and he got a promotion too, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he just got a promotion that day.
And then he quits.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So yeah, he basically quits. His boss is like, "Are you serious? I just promoted you." So, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He drives home. You know, his life seems pretty good, which is pretty surprising too, because
that house
is massive.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off. Because he quits his job and then he drives up to this huge house, and it's like,
you're like, oh wow, he's loaded.
Yeah. Well, was that his or is that?
Yeah, that was my second thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely with his mom's house.
There's no way that's his.
So basically, it's self-explained, but she's the heir of all of Apollo Creed's money. So once he was gone, and think of all the royalties, that house must be easily able to be like managed on its own.
Yeah.
So
So then from there we go into, I forget what, but
well, he goes to talk to his mom.
Yeah.
And when he's going to go talk to his mom, he discusses like he is basically no, we skipped something. He went and fought in Tijuana is how we find out he was Creed.
That's right.
So the movie is introduced with him as a kid, and then it goes to him in Tijuana, Mexico, fighting his first fight.
Yeah.
Or not his first fight. It's like technically it's like his 15th fight, but it's the first fight we've seen.
Right.
Yeah.
And he fights this Mexican guy, and he basically just beats the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And that's where he decides he wants to be a boxer. Yeah.
Like legit, a professional boxer.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, with as little training as he has, he's not bad.
He wasn't really bad, right? And he had all of his training, and it was really cool, too, because when they show him at his mom's house, all he's watching is the first fight, which is in the original Rocky movie. That fight you see is the most iconic fight in Rocky, other than Rocky IV. But that fight shows, like, and he's copying their moves. So that's how he was training himself, which is crazy to think that, like...
So, like, he has Rocky Balboa's style.
Well, he was trying to just basically emulate both of their styles. And basically shadow box, which is what he was teaching himself, which is pretty impressive because he was just an amateur boxer.
That's interesting. You're more of a fucking...
I love boxing.
You know more about boxing than me.
Yeah.
I used to watch it as a kid, but I don't fucking know anything about boxing anymore.
Trust me.
I watch it for entertainment. It's like the same reason why I would watch like poker or something.
Or wrestling,
Poker,
son? Out of anything you could have... You said poker? You could have said UFC, you could have said NBA.
Well, no, because poker is something that I watch, like, I kind of know a little bit of the game.
Okay.
And I'm not serious about it. I don't follow it that much. But, if, nothing else is really on, like, it's something interesting.
Yeah, I could definitely agree upon that.
Like, it's kind of the same thing with boxing. Like, I don't know terribly too much about it. But it's a fun sport to watch.
It really is, especially if there's a good fight.
Yeah, I mean...
So for you, this is a fun movie to watch.
It was very fun. It was, super enjoyable. Not just the fights, but, the story itself was just really intense.
As we can continue on with the story itself, so after he basically explains, because he fights in Tijuana, and he comes back and he tells his mom he quit his job.
Yeah.
And when you find out he quit his job, he's wearing sunglasses, she takes them off, and he's like... I want to go be a boxer, and she doesn't support his decision at all.
She's like, no, your dad died this way, so I'm not gonna have this again. So pretty much that.
I believe that's no. I don't think he actually gets a block. That's not where he gets his injured eye.
No, I don't.
He fights the guy because he goes to the Apollo Creed gym.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And then because he goes to he quits his job and he goes to the Apollo Creed gym, and then when he goes to the Apollo Creed gym, he basically challenges anybody to fight for, because he wants to show that he could be a boxer, because the trainer was his dad's trainer, son. So he was like, hey, like, you guys gotta train me. And he was like, no. So he basically goes into the ring and he decides, like, I'm gonna fight anybody and show everybody here that I'm better than them. But unfortunately, there was some of the top ranked people in the world that were in that gym.
The best fighters in the world.
Some of the best fighters in the world were in that gym, which was really cool, because he actually fights a professional boxer in that gym too. When he fights Wheeler, which is which is not the first guy, the second guy.
Right. Yeah, because the first guy, I don't remember who the first guy was, but he knocked him out.
He knocked him down.
He knocked him down, yeah.
And then he was talking a lot of smack, and then the real boxer came out.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was second ranked in the world, like in the movie itself. But I thought that was awesome.
Well, when did this movie came out? What?
2015.
2015. That's what I thought. Yeah.
In real life, that boxer himself, he's number one. He was number one in the world at that time. Like as a heavyweight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was actually the number one in the world.
In 2015.
2015.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You have all the sports knowledge that I could use, but
no. So basically,
continuing on from there.
What did you think when he fought that guy in the ring? The second guy.
The second guy. I kind of thought that it showed a little bit about how he was at that time. He knew who his dad was, and I think that he knew that he could live up to his father's legacy, but he just wasn't there.
Okay, yeah, I could kind of see that. What do you think, Renee?
I honestly thought he was gonna knock him out. I thought he was gonna knock out the second guy, but I'm kind of glad he didn't.
Yeah, well, because I mean, to be honest, the second guy, I feel like you can definitely tell that he was not skilled. Like, Creed had the basics, but this guy had everything else. And you could tell a lot with how he was, like, guarding him.
Yeah.
And the punches seemed like there was a lot more jazz behind them.
Yeah.
So every time he took a punch, you could tell Creed was, like, hurting really hard, because he kept trying to block it. Once you start hurting in boxing, your punches don't have as much power in them, because you're feeling so much pain you're trying to guard. So when he gets knocked out, I thought that was fucking... Woo! He went boom, and his head hits the ground. And he grabs his keys, like, all right, thanks, man.
And it happened so suddenly too, right?
Yeah.
And just like one hit, he's down.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
He goes from there to him meeting his mom and telling his mom, like, yeah, he quit boxing, and that's where she sees his black eye, and she doesn't support any of his decisions.
Okay.
And that's kind of where he explains, like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to go try to be a boxer, and he basically knows where he needs to go to be a boxer, and that's where he decides to go to Philly to see if he can find Rocky.
Is that like some weird boxing breeding grounds, or is he just...
It's the famous Rocky Balboa breeding grounds, because that's where Rocky's from.
Okay, so he's going off a limb, pretty much.
He's going off basically a limb because he knows that Rocky never left Philly.
Okay.
A lot of people know, because his restaurant is there, which is named after his wife, Adrian. And then his boxing gym, Mickey's, is there. So he knew that if he went there to the gym, he thought he would find Rocky.
Okay.
And then to find out that Rocky really isn't at that gym, that Rocky doesn't associate himself really with that gym.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're in Philly.
Yeah.
We're in Philly. What are we doing in Philly? I kind of forgot. It was kind of like, sorry. I mean, we just watched the movie. The ending blew the fuck out of my mind, but... Anyways, we're at Philly.
So he's in Philly. He goes to the gym, and he basically finds out the life of a boxer.
Yeah.
The guy who's training him is training under his son, and his son is basically a top 4 best boxer of heavyweights, and he doesn't really have time to train anybody else. So he tells Creed, if you pay me, I'll train you. I'll give you some training pointers, but other than that, I mean, when I have time, I'll take a look at you.
So pretty much, just he's there around. He's gonna focus on his son, and then he's gonna.
So basically, if you kind of think about it, they're training all together, but they're kind of benefiting his son the most.
Yeah. He's gonna make the most money.
His son's gonna make the money, and then his son gets to train. If they get good, his son will just train against them to get better.
Okay, so pretty much just punch him back.
Yeah, but he didn't need to be there. He knows that.
Yeah, but he did it because it was his best opportunity. Like, the only way he could actually get training and good training.
Yeah.
And it basically figures out Rocky's not there, so he goes to his restaurant, and that's where he talks with Rocky. And Rocky's, like, confused, like, who the hell are you, dude? Like, I have no clue who you are. How do you know my past? You know my secrets.
That was bold. That was bold of him to go to a straight-up restaurant and just be like...
Like, hey, man. Like, hey, man, what's up?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty crazy what he was telling him, too. Like, because a lot of people always wondered about that, too. I don't know if y'all noticed, but he tells Rocky at like the end of their whole conversation, he says, "Hey," because Apollo's his father, and he says, "Who won the third fight?" And at the end of Rocky 3, Rocky and Apollo fight.
Is that the infamous scene?
The infamous scene.
The
infamous scene is in Rocky 4 with Ivan Drago and Rocky.
Okay,
No, the great training montage is Rocky 3, where they're running on the beach and stuff. And at the end of that, the end of that fight in Rocky 3 ends with them two being about to spar, and it's the third time they fight, and they're both talking to each other, and then they're about to land their first punch, and the movie ends. So everybody always wondered who won that fight.
But that's an infamous scene right there.
It's more of like a famous scene.
Yeah.
It's a famous montage scene, but it's not infamous because infamous is like sad, like
okay.
like Rocky 4.
I get you.
But it's pretty cool because he actually tells you like, no, Creed did beat me, and the whole movies were built around Rocky, and to find out that Creed did beat him.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool note.
That's crazy. Yeah. So, from what we've seen, we find out that Rocky knows who this kid is, who Creed is, because he straight up tells him like, "How do you know all this?" And he's like, "That's my dad, pretty much." And he's just like, "You fought my dad," and he's like, "What? No way!" And then, and so they find out that that's his dad, and I guess after a while he leaves the gym or leaves the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Rocky refuses to train him because of what happened. I mean, he was really close friends with Creed.
Yeah.
But he's done with boxing.
Yeah. Which is understandable. He's
lost a lot.
He's lost a lot throughout the years.
Yeah. You can tell if you notice a lot too. He's by himself.
Yeah.
Even though he has a wife, or he had a wife, and she passed away. And his son's not there anymore. He left Philly to get away from him.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, he's actually really sad. Poor guy. He's like a nice guy too when you think about it. Like, why did this happen to this guy? So we go from there, and you see like Creed's like training, and this is where he stumbles upon, living in his apartment. He stumbles upon meeting his this girl that lives like in an apartment near him. Her name's
Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca. And the music I thought was pretty cool.
At this part of the film, I didn't know where it was going.
I thought the music was dope.
The music was dope, right?
So awesome. Honestly, that was one of my favorite parts of this movie was the music.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
like that music was off the hook. It was awesome.
I never heard Seth say off the hook.
I've never heard it say that either. I haven't seen anybody say that in a long time. Anyway, but I thought the music was really good. I thought it felt different.
Yeah,
it was very.
It was different, but it fit.
Relaxing, but powerful.
Yeah.
Very,
That's good. That's a good way to describe it.
But at this part of the film, I didn't know where it was going. I was all like, as soon as he knocked, or as soon as like they heard the music, a lot of music, and he was sleeping. When Creed was sleeping. So now we're at this point where he's like, okay, whatever, with Rocky, and then like he's sleeping, and then he hears loud music, and he goes and bangs on the door, and a girl comes out, and she's just like, "Yeah, what do you want?" And
he was ready to kick somebody's ass.
He was so pissed because he was like, "Shit, I'm just trying to sleep.
Yeah,
you banging this shit so loud. I'm just trying to chill, take a nap."
He's like, "I gotta train in the morning."
And she's like, "Oh, you gotta train."
She's like, "You think I care?"
She's like, "Yeah, I'll bring it down." So she closes the fucking door in his face, and then he's like walking upstairs. You can hear the music at the exact same level. He's like, "Well, fuck,
like, all right.
There's nothing I can really do."
So he meets this girl Bianca, and then that's kind of a little scene of him and their introduction, and then
you can kind of just still see him training at the Mickey's gym, kind of trying to figure out his own kind of boxing.
Pretty much. Yeah, he goes back to the famous gym. Is it Rocky's gym? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what he basically does is he goes to it's Rocky's famous gym, which is called Mickey's gym.
Okay.
Which was Rocky's trainer's name. Yeah.
Okay.
Rocky's original trainer, that was what his name was. It was called Mickey's gym.
Oh, really?
So yeah, he trains at basically Mickey's gym, and that he's just kind of figuring everything out himself while still trying to talk to Rocky because he wants Rocky to train him.
Yeah.
And that's
like, nah.
Yeah. Which I actually thought was a pretty funny scene because he goes and meets Rocky while he's trying to like unpack a bunch of goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like talking to each other, and then he's like, let me give me some pointers. Like, all right, I'll write down like 5 for you.
Yeah. And so he writes them down, and
then he takes a picture of it on his phone,
on his smartphone.
And he gives it back, and he's like, well, aren't you gonna take this with you? He's like, no, I got it right here. He's like, well, what if it breaks or something? What if you lose it? He's like, no, it's up in the cloud. And he's like, what the fuck?
No, you know what I thought was funny is that he said that and then he looked up.
He looked like
What cloud? That cloud? How does that cloud happen?
That's gonna fucking give me points.
As soon as that cloud gets over there, it's gonna disappear.
Wow. How did he get in the clouds? I just thought that was pretty cool. I was like, that's a little funny.
Yeah, it just kind of shows how I wouldn't say primitive, but how not in tune with the times.
Which makes sense because Rocky was made in the 80s.
Yeah,
so,
and he's old. Sylvester Stallone's old.
80s to now. Goodness
How
gracious.
old is he? He's got to be like.
Oh, he's like in his 50s or 60s.
Nah, he's
Definitely.
I would say
No,
he's at least like 65. I think
Sylvester Stallone is just in great shape, but he is not young.
he's
old,
I mean, he's in good shape, but I mean, he's still
he's kept himself in great
old.
shape. Some of it's surgery, but no, dude, he's like he's definitely in his 60s. He's almost 70.
Oh, he's almost 70. Oh, I thought
See, that's what I thought.
I think he actually is in his 70s.
Because I mean, if he was like,
he's born in 1946.
No, he's in his 70s.
no way. That means that he was like. He was like.
No way. I mean, I wouldn't lie to you.
That means that he had to have been like 30 years old.
72 years
Rocky.
old.
He's 72.
Oh my god! But back then,
Schwarzenegger 71.
that was 3 years ago. So he was.
He's older than Schwarzenegger?
He was.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was
that makes
60.
sense.
What? 69
Yeah.
when they did this film.
He was 69.
Still.
Rocking and rolling. Best way to put it.
Still getting in the ring.
Yeah.
Still walking up those steps.
Yeah. That means that when he made the other one, well, we're getting off topic.
Okay, back on topic. We're at the point now where he give him some pointer tips, and he's just like,
He gives him some tips, and then he starts to think about it on his own because he goes to the memorial of his like wife and his former trainer Mickey, and he's thinking to himself and contemplating. So because of that, he decides to go to the Mickey's gym where everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's Rocky!
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get him to train me so I can be a great
a
champion."
reunion for all these old guys, and
It was pretty sad too.
Yeah,
because he brings a rose for his.
I thought it was funny that he pulled that chair out of the tree.
You could tell it'd been there for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, how
I was like, doesn't anybody just like come and take it or something? Like that is. I mean, it's a good place to put the chair, but still, I mean, I thought that was a little weird.
For me, I was just like, oh, he goes here a lot, and he has his own chair.
It's pretty sad when you think about it.
Yeah.
So he goes from there and decides, you know what, I'm gonna go talk to this kid Adonis, and he goes to that gym, and everybody's surprised, and that trainer and his son are there, and that trainer decides like, wow, if I could get Rocky to train my son, he could be at the next level.
Yeah.
So he goes to try to talk to Rocky, be like, hey, can you train my son? And then Adonis just comes out, it's like, hey, Unc! He's like, what the? Is he talking to you? He's like, yeah, I know him. And they're like talking to each other, and he's like, okay. And from there, Rocky decides like, hey, I'm gonna train you.
He's like, okay, I got this kid, and he's gonna train him now because I guess he's gonna. I don't know what his mindset was. He was just gonna.
I think he's
gonna try it again.
I think he decided that he owed it to Apollo.
Yeah.
Okay.
He owed it to Apollo.
That makes a lot of sense.
And this kid had like the right mindset. He knew he was a good kid. He wasn't like just some bum. He was a good kid.
Okay. So he goes in and he right off the bat, as soon as they're about to train, he gives them some like advice, like already, just, all right, this is what you're gonna do, and this is how you're gonna do it, and they immediately go into it. Like,
they go into the classic Rocky montage, but with some dope
great
music.
montage. Okay, I just want to make this a point. I fucking love the soundtrack, and I also love the score. Oh my god,
they were both very good.
That was incredible. I was just like, I've never heard anything like this.
Yeah, that was Ludwig Göransson. Sorry if I butchered that, but he also did Black Panther.
See, I was thinking because it's the same director as Black Panther. I was like, this has got to be the same composer.
What
too.
else has he done?
He did Venom, Central Intelligence. We won't talk about that. And other than that, that's all.
Venom.
Venom and Black Panther like.
Or the ones.
No, Creed and Black Panther are probably the the biggest ones.
Okay, fucking spot on. That was a great soundtrack, great score.
You, I know you haven't seen Black Panther, but you have.
You haven't seen Black Panther?
That's a different discussion.
I'm sorry for everything.
I think this is just a conversation that we're gonna have.
But if you do understand, like if you've seen Black Panther, you could definitely tell the same tones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen the beginning.
You work at a movie theater, so you have to hear the music in the movie.
Well, see, I was gonna say the first scene with him as a kid reminded me a lot of the first scene of Black Panther.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's actually directed by the same person too, Ryan Coogler.
Okay,
right.
So I guess that's like his style, I guess, the way he likes to direct. Anyways, off topic. But we are now getting into the famous montage where you fucking hear the badass montage music, and we're getting into it. He's training him the old Rocky Balboa style, chasing chickens, fucking.
That I thought was so awesome. He's all, how long do I have to get this chicken? What, about 30 seconds? He's all, good luck. And you see him like trying to grab the chicken from a corner of the tree. He's like, come over here, chicken! Like, I can't get to you.
And he finally gets it and he's like, I think these chickens are getting slower.
Yeah, he does.
I love how wisecracking he is in this. Like, everything he just has funny to say.
He's an old man. He's like,
an old man.
That's part of being an old dude, is that you gotta have
You gotta be a little bit
jokes.
witty and at the same time be kind of oblivious to what's your surroundings when it comes to technology.
But you also know like everything.
You have to know everything. Yeah, the whole movie you felt like
You're witty.
You could go to him at any time, any place, anywhere. You would drink a cup of water, he'll be like, that water has a meaning to it. And you need to understand that. He's that kind of guy.
This water is you.
This water is you. It's drippy. It's cold, but it can be something.
Okay, so I don't know if this is part of the first montage, but this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. Is when he was looking at the mirror and he says, "You see that guy in the mirror?"
Yeah, that is a part of the montage.
That's part of this montage. Okay, so he's like, "You see that guy in the mirror? That's you. That's your opponent. You're not only going to take it in the ring, you're going to take it in life." I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, a lot of heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's a heavy moments of just this fucking quotable.
You noticed it too when he tells him that. He tells him every time you swing to the right, you block. That guy in the mirror needs to block to the right. So every time he blocks, you throw. Every time you throw, you're going to beat that guy in the mirror. You understand me?
Yeah.
You're going to beat that guy because in life you're going to go through things that guy will have to go through throughout his whole entire life. So the whole like shadow boxing between himself was like.
That was pretty
meaningful.
That was a big moment.
Yeah, it was a really.
That was a very big moment in the film.
Wow, that's awesome.
Kind of fast forwarding through that montage though. So the trainer sees that he's training him a lot.
Yeah.
And decides he wants his kid to get like a fight so that he can have a warm up, tune up fight, as well make a little bit of money because those two they're both pretty skilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they decide between each other like, hey, have this kid fight, have Creed fight his first fight against this kid, and see if you can take him on. And because of all that training and they decide, you know what, we'll have that first fight. And when we go to the first fight between the two, what did y'all think?
That was one of the best fights I've ever seen, like, in a movie.
Really?
Yeah, actually.
All in that one shot?
Yeah. Just
The
because
way it was shot.
Yeah.
I think the music and how it's all done in one shot is given, like, it feels like you're in there with the ring with you.
That's
because every time it turns and swings and you're looking, it feels like you're in the ring, and like how they move with each other, I think it really works.
It works so well. I was actually amazed, like, not only like how they shot it, but like kind of the narrative behind it. Mm-hmm. Whenever he was, how he pretty much lost the first round, was getting his ass kicked, and then the second round he came in, and then Rocky coached him through. He's like, okay, that wasn't working. You're gonna do this, and whatever he did, it worked because he won.
Because he was basically like a little bit nervous and afraid because he was nervous.
He was really tight.
He was really nervous. Yeah,
he was really tight.
He was just like,
especially with that whole cut my gloves off. Cut my gloves off. He's like, what? If I take a shit, you gonna wipe my ass? He's like, take his fucking gloves off.
Here's all, look, just give him about 10 minutes and we'll be out there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And he's all, you gotta hurry it up.
You gotta hurry up. We got a fight to win.
Let's go. But I mean, I can understand why he would be nervous because I mean, this guy won 17 fights and lost none.
Yeah, and this was basically his first pro fight, and it was his first basically chance to show if he could compete. I thought it was really cool though. Like,
Honestly, as good of a fight as it was, to me it was a little bit predictable.
Oh,
yeah.
Just how it doesn't really do that good in the first round. He's like, okay, well, why don't you try this? And then he comes back in the second round and he wins.
Yeah, which I thought I think it was kind of shocking because considering in the beginning of the movie how he gets knocked the hell out.
Oh yeah. I mean, if he had gotten knocked out, it would have been like, hey, kid, you suck. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, like what Rocky said.
He's like, that's exactly the way I would have wrote it.
But I mean,
you suck, kid. You suck.
You suck, kid. I'm sorry. I'm just wasting my time.
But I mean, honestly, I don't really think there's any other way that you could have gone in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
I can see what you're saying from that
From like the
perspective,
story aspect. Or
Yeah,
something? Okay.
yeah. I mean, like it's
You're
yes,
building a narrative, so
right,
that
yes,
was the
it's-
best way to build him up.
Yes, it's predictable, but that's just the
You
way
kinda
they have to
need
go.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you needed. That's kind of the.
You needed him to feel like at least he was credible now, considering all the training he went through.
Yeah, and if you went through all that and
So-
then lost.
So he wins the fight. They're all celebrating. Everybody's happy. He even gets a good night, happy day.
Real good night.
good night, happy day. Basically, the next night, and he wakes up to find out that the trainer that trained him at the gym found out that he was the son of Creed.
Oh
See,
yeah.
throughout the movie, Adonis Creed is going by his other name, Johnson.
His mother's name.
Yeah, his mother's name, and he doesn't want anybody to know he's Creed because he wants to make his own name for himself.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to use his father's name. So once they find out that his name is Creed, this changes everything because the other guy, I believe he's the boxer he's fighting. His name is Mike Conlon, if I'm correct, right?
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, the end. That was his name, right? Mike Conlon.
I was thinking of Leo, but oh well.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
Mike
no,
Conlon.
no,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
Mike
you're right.
Conlon.
Because Wheeler was who he fought in the beginning of the movie, and he got knocked
I
out.
think
Yeah.
his like thing was Pretty Mike.
Yeah.
Pretty Mike Conlon.
Pretty
yeah, I
Mike
think.
Conlon.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty Rick Conlon.
Right.
Pretty Rick Conlon.
Same
Oh,
thing.
pretty word.
It's the same thing.
Rick Conlon.
Just change a couple letters, it's the same thing.
Just switch them around. You get.
So after the fight, he finds out that Pretty Rick Conlon fought in the press conference to fight Wheeler because they were going to have their big championship fight. Wheeler was the second-ranked best boxer in the world, and Pretty Rick Conlon was a champion. And at their press conference, Conlon got too pissed off and punched him and broke his jaw. So they had to cancel the fight, and,
Yeah.
and probably he lost like millions of dollars.
We're jumping around, but that's what happened.
Yeah, that's basically what's explained.
Yeah.
And because of that, Adonis, after they find out Adonis is a Creed, his trainer basically talks to him and like explains like, hey, we need to make money somehow.
Yeah,
we need to do
push
this.
this.
And
Yeah.
Conlon was like, he doesn't deserve shit. Like,
Yeah.
he hasn't done anything. He hasn't had a great fight. He's an amateur. And he's like, well, his trainer's Rocky. He's like, Rocky's a nobody now. Nobody gives a crap about Rocky anymore. Like, I should be finding somebody credible. He's like, you have no room to speak because you ruined our $1 million fight, all because you want to be a little bit antsy and talk a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, well, why do I have to do this fight? He's like, because this is the only way I can promise that your family at the end of the day and your kids will have money after this fight. So Conlon decides, you know what? Whatever. You're going to have me fight Creed? I'll do it. So he ends up calling Creed, and he's like, "Hey, we want to have a fight with you and Conlon." And he talks to Rocky actually, and Rocky's like, "Oh shit, like this is not fucking good." Because the thing is, in the reality is Rocky knows this is a guy that's professional.
Yeah.
This is a guy.
This is a real deal.
This guy's champion.
Yeah.
He's had multiple title fights. He's not a joke.
Like, he could actually die.
Like, he may be at the end of his days, but he's still a champion, and he's well worthy like of being a great boxer. So he knew what the phone call really was.
Yeah.
It was basically so that Conlon could fight him, beat him, go out as a champion, retire as a champion. That's all it was. That's all he really wanted to be.
Yeah.
So when they have that discussion, and his trainer and Creed and Rocky discuss it, he's like, "Do you think I have a chance, Rocky?" He's like, "He knows you're just a warm-up kid. You're not here to be the real." Which happens all the time in boxing.
Really?
Yeah, that happens all the time in boxing. You're gonna have guys that are just fighting guys just to make themselves look better, and you know they don't have a
Just
chance.
like improve their record.
They improve their record, and they give a credible opponent to their name, so people want to watch them more. Because it's true, every 6 months you need somebody to fight. If you don't fight after every 6 months in boxing, you could possibly lose your title, which would also knock you off in the pound for pound ranking. So,
That's interesting.
yeah. So they decided he's gonna fight, and Creed's like, Okay, what'd y'all think when he was decided to fight that guy?
I was like, okay, cool. This is to me. I thought of it as in like a narrative standpoint. It's like, okay, he needs to show his worth, and this is a worthy opponent to show his worth. This hothead, fucking English man. Is he from England?
Yeah, he's from England.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought the same thing, because I think at this point in the film, he's kind of starting to understand that he can't get away from who he is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Who his father is. Not that he has to be like, just like him, but there is a legacy there, and he has to not necessarily. What the fuck was that? Not necessarily that he has to live up to it, but he's got to. He's got to make a name for himself, but at the same time, he's got to hold up his father's name too.
That's true.
Yeah, I like that. So he decides to take the fight, and they decide, like, okay, we're going to start training. And then when he starts training, that's when you see that Rocky's in that gym. And he's taking the punches, and he's like,
oh, yeah.
And he throws up, and you're like, okay. Well, I mean, he's an old man, he's taking a bunch of body shots. But then he goes to the side, and he just hits the floor.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, something's wrong.
And everybody's dragging him out of the ring.
He's dying.
At this point, I didn't want it to happen. I did not want that to happen. I was just
Why?
No, well, the thing is, when I saw him throw up, I was like, he's an old man. It's just, he's fine. But then when I saw him drop, I was like, oh no, this is no, don't do this to me, please don't. And I was like, fuck, something's up. And little behold, they go to the emergency room and talk about how much of a badass Rocky is. He's just like. He was in the nursing. He's like, "Hey, we know we gotta train," and the doctor's like, "No, you wait. We'll wait for the results tomorrow." And he's like, and then Adonis Creed is just like, "What? No, chill out." He's like, "Hey, hurry up. We gotta train. We gotta fight to win or something like that."
Yeah,
that's like, "Hey, I'm doing okay.
I'm doing all right. We'll be all right. I'm feeling fine. Let's go."
I feel like that whole from then to the next scene where he goes back to training and they give him a call like, "Hey, Rocky, we need you back over here so we can talk." And then when he goes over there and you find out he has cancer.
Yeah.
And from that scene to where he walks back to the gym and it just feels like time stops. Because he walks and he's like, keep on training. And he goes and drops his jacket. And he's decided, because when he talked to the doctor himself, he told him, like, I don't want nobody to remember this. Like, and they're like, we can treat this. And he's like, no, we're not treating this.
He's like, no, my wife did that. It didn't work out very well.
And that's really sad, too, to find out that that's what happened to his wife.
Yeah.
Was that she had the same exact issue. Was the treatment didn't work and it didn't help him.
Did that happen in any of the Rocky movies, or is that just like backstory?
I know that she definitely passed away by the time we got to Rocky Balboa. I just didn't know how she passed away.
Okay.
Because even though I don't know the entire history of these movies. I don't know their history.
Yeah, she really is gone by the time.
Yeah, but regardless, that scene was very it was very heavy.
I thought it was even heavier when so he decides to keep training, and then Creed ends his training and he goes to the back of the locker room and he finds all the paperwork in there, and he finds there's treatment. He's like, how long have you been hiding this? And Rocky's like, what are you talking about? He's like, we gotta go do treatment immediately. He's like, why are we gonna do treatment? There's no point. If I could just if I could get all the happiness in the world and just have one day with my wife, I'd give it all up. Just one day to be with my wife. My son isn't here. My wife is not even here anymore. She's gone. Everybody's gone. You think we're a family, kid? I ain't no family. I'm just an old man that was a trainer that you were looking for. And I was like, damn, that's fucking. That was like, fuck.
Yeah. That hit really hard, actually. I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah, but then he actually does it.
Oh, yeah, well, later in the line, because the Creed is fucked up by that. He goes to his Bianca's show, which is her big show chance. Yeah. And he goes over there and he gets mad because that guy calls him Baby Creed. And if you really look at that rapper guy, I mean, he was kind of
he's kind of an asshole.
He's kind of an ass, but at the same time, he really wasn't trying to disrespect him. He was trying to he was really just trying to be like, hey, what's up, Baby Creed? Try as respect.
Yeah, as respect.
But Adonis wasn't having any of it. Yeah. Adonis was like, I'm going to fuck you up. And it's crazy that he swung at him. Because, I mean,
I didn't think he was going to.
Yeah, technically, as a boxer, if you really can't lay your hands on anybody, because your hands are considered licensed weapons.
Yeah. That's what I read. They're an actual lethal weapon.
But I mean, it kind of makes sense though that he gets out of jail, because I mean his mom has like a bunch of money, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
And then
She can pay him out.
Rocky has a bunch of
Rocky has a bunch of money too.
Yeah, I'm sure he's bloated.
Yeah, but he spends all of his money on like small. You can tell that he stayed humble.
Yeah, but even
He
still,
has a restaurant, a gym. He's chilling. You know, he's making money without making money.
He's still got a little something.
Definitely. I mean, he was a champion for years.
Yeah.
So he messes up the relationship between him and Bianca. He kind of like breaks apart. Bianca shuts him out, which I thought was a pretty heavy scene too, because he fucked up and she doesn't want to talk to him anymore. And then he goes back to Rocky, and Rocky and him have like a discussion. And Rocky's like, look, if we're going to do this, we got to do this. And he's like, how about this? I'll fight if you fight. And I thought that was a great moment in the movie. Because he tells Rocky to his face basically like, if you keep on fighting this cancer, then I'll fight this fight. But if you give up on fighting this cancer, then I'm going to give up training. And I'm going to give up on this fight. So this kid is willing to give up his dreams to keep him alive.
That's crazy.
And I thought that was like, that was family. You know?
Yeah. It was very.
That's what it's all about.
That was a heartwarming moment for them, for both of them actually.
Yeah,
and for me.
Yeah, because of that, we get into like the actual fucking awesome montage. Because you think at the beginning of the movie, you're like, "Wow, this is a great montage." No, this is the fucking montage. This is the montage. You were like, "All right, here we go," and it goes into the montage, and they're fighting real hard, and it's crazy because the montage isn't just about him fighting. It's also Rocky fighting cancer at the same time.
Yeah.
So like you see him throw up, running, and like he was losing his hair, his eyebrows are disappearing.
I thought that was crazy because at first they didn't really show him like really that up close or anything. You just kind of see him like off the background. I'm like, shit, they're really playing this up, aren't they?
You could tell he was like changing. Like his face was getting older.
Yeah.
He was losing his youth. Like it was. I thought it was like disturbing. I was like, wow, this is so sad. Like,
I'm surprised they didn't make him lose weight or anything.
It felt like he was, because he went bald and everything. I think that was enough an effect, but that would have been crazy too. Yeah, because just all the chemo, but it's like building up. What I love about that montage scene is so he's like training real hard, and then when he's doing that run, and all those kids in the motorcycles are like, "Fuck yeah, let's follow!" And that dude with the ATV, which is so illegal as fuck.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that scene, I looked at you, Renee, and you were like, okay. I know Renee, I know you would be like, who the fuck would ride an ATV out of nowhere?
I would do it.
You'd be falling behind on your skateboard.
I've driven an ATV, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you can't drive on the street. That is illegal. Maybe in Philly it's different, but
nah.
I'm pretty sure you can't drive one of those Philly.
Anyways, they have this badass moment where it was just like him dressed. I guess it was a homage to the first Rocky movie.
It's kind of similar.
I guess so,
The first Rocky movie ends with the montage ends when he gets to the stairs, which is like, I can fly now, which basically stands for like, anything's possible, let's do this.
Yeah.
But that movie was like, he builds up to the fact that like, here we go, I can do this, and everybody supports me in this. As a family, we can take this on. That's what I got coming off of
Nice.
that.
I thought it was interesting that that they didn't do it there at the same place. That they did it more on like a back alley street.
Yeah, I thought that.
Because to me, it kind of shows more like he's coming from a different place.
Yeah, he definitely coming, and I like that a lot too. Yeah, I definitely felt that too. So we get that. He talks to Bianca. Well, no, actually, so Rocky like does the most awkward, best comedy moment of the movie. He walks in, he's like, "Hey, I couldn't sleep. Can I come in and talk for a little bit?" He sits there and he's like, "So what do you want to talk about?" He's like, looking at the door. And he's like,
"What are you looking?"
He's like, "What are you looking at? Why do you keep looking at the door?" He's like, "I don't know. Did you hear something?" He's like, "Nothing." He's like,
hear anything.
He's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Who is that? You gonna get that?" Like he opens the door,
So
and Bianca's like, "Wow, what a surprise!"
I was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Well, I want to get going. I thought that scene was cool. I was like, "Wow, this is really, really good."
And this is in Liverpool, right?
This is in England.
This is in England.
Yeah.
This is the night of the fight.
Not in Philly anymore.
Which, by the way, that press conference between the two, I thought was pretty cool too. Because when Conlon comes out, I don't know, it's a little bit prior to that. But Conlon comes out, and he comes out and talks to Creed, and they're having like a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And then
He's like, I've taken some anger management.
Yeah, he's taking anger management.
It's going pretty well.
Don't worry, we're
like,
gonna forget
look,
that.
man.
I just love how he's like, I'm trying to build my own legacy. He's like, build your own legacy. you're a false Creed. That's all you are. So you think I'm a false Creed? I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. It's like, oh shit, where's it all coming from? I thought that was awesome. And then he shows Rocky, and he's like, I don't have much, but fuck you, dude. Like,
he literally sticks out his hand. And just like,
So we got that, and then we get built up to like. So Bianca surprised him. He's built up. They have the press conference. It's the day of the fight. He walks in. He's like, "What's this surprise right here?" And it's like a big box, and it's like a bow on top, and he unties it and opens it up, and you see it's his dad's trunks with the USA flag and the Creed in the front.
And Johnson in the back.
Yeah, Johnson. What did y'all think about that?
I'm surprised he didn't start breakdown crying.
Yeah,
That's what I would have done.
That was. I felt like that was
heavy.
really heavy right there.
I was like, wow, this this fight's gonna stand for something. It's gonna stand for something big.
From his mom, who didn't even want him to be there in the first place.
And she wouldn't even go to the fight either, which was like. Wow.
I mean,
she couldn't handle it.
Yeah, but I mean, at least she watched it on TV.
Pay-per-view, baby.
I'm gonna watch this shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this shit from
She's
a
like,
distance.
she's like, I'm not gonna pay $1,000 for a ticket.
So we get into the fight. They have some badass entrances. Creed comes out with the Tupac song. I don't know what the name is called.
Machiavelli.
I'm not a Tupac guy.
Machiavelli.
You probably
Hail Mary.
Hail Mary.
I think it's Hail Mary.
I think it is Hail Mary. I think
Come with me.
Come with
Hail
me.
Mary.
Yeah, it was a good song.
I think I'm the wrong color for Tupac.
No, wait. No, you can never be the wrong color. Anybody can be any color. That's a horrible. Okay, you're good. But no. So anyway, so we get some badass entrances, and we get to like this first round. And I don't know if you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I point like in the Tupac song when he was walking out? Everyone fucking hated him.
Oh yeah,
because he's fighting in England. Yeah.
He was fighting in Conley or Con.
No, he's fighting in Liverpool, England.
No,
Conlon?
Conlin's hometown.
Yeah, Liverpool, England.
So nobody fucking liked him. He was how do you say, the spoiled kid of boxing.
He was like a Conor McGregor of boxing.
Yeah.
He's what he reminded me a lot of.
I kind of saw it more of them thinking like this kid's trying to come in here and take the title away from him. Like regardless of who he was or where he was from.
Yeah.
Like that didn't matter. The fact was he wanted to take the title for himself.
Yeah, I definitely felt that too. That's kind of what they were trying to go for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have Conlon Conlon comes in, he has his entrance, and then we have these two basically in the ring with each other. And they both, Creed goes out there to give him respect, and he tries to touch gloves. Touching gloves means respect, like, let's do this the right way.
Yeah.
And Conlon looks at him, and he looks him in the eyes, and he's like, you're no Creed.
Oof.
And he walks away. Basically stating, like, you're not a boxer.
Oh,
you're a joke.
Can I also point out how scary the crowd was when
it felt like a wrestling kind of thing.
That's what I thought
It felt like a wrestling arena with that kind of the crowd is taking over. You have
and they were
the emotion. Conlon.
Yeah, they were chanting his name.
Yeah.
Creed was a foreign, obvious. Was like a straight up foreign in enemy territory. That was crazy. I was just like, now I finally know what you mean, like, as the crowd is scary.
Yeah, when the crowd is like that, and you could tell, like, he had no, the only support he had was Rocky, Bianca, in his training camp, but other than that, he was in enemy territory, and he had nobody there.
Yeah.
So you could tell he was nervous, and you could tell that in that first round.
Oh, yeah.
So, the first round, what did you think, Seth, like, going into that?
Well, from the first round and then also from the montage of both of them training, I did kind of had an idea of how the first round was going to go. I thought that Creed did sort of the same thing that he did in his first fight, where he was a little tense. Like, I mean, he was obviously very nervous. I mean, you know, the situation and everything. And then Conlon, he had some speed.
Speed, length, strength.
He had everything.
Did you see how in the first round too, when he was boxing with him, and he would pull his hands out, and he was taunting him. He had no fear, and he was talking to him. He's like, "Come on, come over here, come over here," and he hit him in the face. And when he got that uppercut, and Creed hit the floor, I looked down. I was like, when I first saw the movie, I was like, "Holy fuck! It didn't really matter, did it? All this training, all this build up, and at the end of the day, and he's got fighting a guy that's just too much for him." And that's what I felt when he hit the ground, and you could tell he looked in his eyes, and then he hits him, and then you see at the end of the round he hits him in the face with the last second of the round, and he cut his whole eyebrow with that one punch.
Yeah.
He cut his whole eyebrow, and he couldn't really see. And Rocky comes to him and is like, hey, you gotta pay attention. Like, look, listen. You've got to prove to this guy. You got to make him feel your punches. You've got to do something. You got to hit him. You got to wait for it, and you got to hit him and make sure he knows who you are. I was like, fuck. Well, you're gonna have to do that shit now because you're in a horrible situation, brother. You got the crowd against you. You're nervous.
But I mean, after
after
about the halfway point, the match really started to be very even, very balanced.
Yeah.
That second round was fucking awesome because you feel the exact same way as the first. He's getting his ass kicked, and as soon as he does that swing over, that swing right option to the arm with the uppercut.
Oh yeah, he did.
And he hits him, and he looks at him and has that cut on his cheek, and then you feel the music just boom, it hits. And then you see them just both swinging, like everything. And those guys weren't even moving their heads anymore. They're not moving their head. You see boom, boom, boom. Like each person's just taking a punch, each one by one. I was like, holy fuck, these guys aren't kidding around anymore.
Yeah, they wanted.
And they're going to knock each other out.
Yeah.
And like for 3 rounds straight, I think Conlon's just fucking him up. Boom, boom, boom. Headshot, fucking his face up. I'm like, damn, dude, like, you gotta keep up. And then at a certain point, I think you're right. About the halfway point of the fight, Creed like kind of just takes over.
It was like round 5.
Yeah,
like round 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, and he kind of builds up to round 11. So round 11, what y'all fucking think about?
Okay. That was an emotional ride right there.
Because when I saw it the first time, when they're boxing with each other and he's having the body shots, it looks like Conlon's gonna hit the ground, right?
Yeah.
And then he hits him with that uppercut, boom, and he knocks him back. And then they're like, boom, boom, boom. And then he's trying to fight back. And then Conlon goes over, swings, uppercut, boom. And then, by the way, that is actually him getting knocked out in real life. That was the punch.
I was gonna say
he legit got knocked out. Right
that
there.
looked way too real.
Yeah, that was him.
That's exactly what I thought about.
Yeah, so when they were making Creed, he was really boxing.
Okay.
So that was all real.
That part where he gets knocked out, that was him actually being knocked out.
Oh,
I believe. I may be wrong, but I remember they said that in the movie there is certain portions where he gets knocked out.
Either that,
I believe that's the scene.
Or Michael B. Jordan's a really good actor.
But yeah, when the way his body moves, as he hits the ground, you could tell that he was no longer.
That was probably one of my favorite.
But the way he hits the ground and that effect that he's like, he hits the ground and they're like, get up, and he goes to Rocky first. And then he goes to Bianca. And then he goes to Marianne, his stepmother. Like, get up. And then it goes back to Rocky. And then it shows like his effects of his life.
Yeah.
Where he's like, Rocky's like, like dying from cancer. And he got up from that. And the struggles he's gone with Bianca from her shutting him out to being back in his life. And then it goes to finally to Creed himself.
Yeah.
Apollo Creed, he's boxing with Rocky. And you could tell like he was the real boxer. And then you hear that comes back to life.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. The crowd was too, because Conlon comes down and he's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
How did he come back from the dead?
Like, what?
I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker can't be killed.
He's not kidding around.
So he survives, but at the end of the round, like Conlon hits him like 4 or 5 times to the eye.
Yeah.
And then you go back to seeing him in the corner, and his eye just fucking.
It was closed. There was no doubt about it. It was pink and closed.
Did you notice what Rocky was doing?
Yeah, he was counting the fingers on the back of his
neck.
Yeah.
To let him know how many.
That's when I looked at you. I was like, damn.
Smart, right?
Yeah.
It's really smart.
It's the only way to continue the fight. But he wanted to stop the fight. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Rocky wanted to stop the fight because, what's really interesting too, he says, I'm going to do what I should have done for Apollo all those years ago. I have to stop this fight. And y'all are probably wondering what the hell that means, right?
Yeah.
So, spoiler alert, hope that y'all have all seen Rocky 4. If you have not, I'm sorry about this. Rocky 4 is where Apollo Creed's killed in the ring. And he's killed in the ring by the Russian. And then what happened was the bell rings, and then he got knocked out. And then what happened was his face was so fucked up and he was bloodied. And he was hit, but Creed was such an incredible boxer that he stayed on his feet. And he looked up in the air. He didn't know if he was still there, but Rocky had the towel, the white flag, and he looked at him. He was going to throw it in the ring. But prior to that, in that ring, Creed told him, don't you dare throw that towel in the ring. I'm going to go out the same way I came in, champ. And he went in that ring.
That didn't happen.
And he kept getting hit, and the referee tries to stop the fight, and Ivan Drago keeps hitting him in the face. Boom, boom,
shit.
boom. As he's knocked out. on the corner just until he falls out of the ring and he's considered dead.
That's
And
crazy.
he died.
That's crazy.
So that was in Rocky 4.
Okay.
So Rocky 4
Alright.
probably would have been a great movie if we had watched it first. But anyway, so that's what happens in Rocky 4. Sorry if I spoiled that. I really don't mean to. It's just it really is a heavy
really
moment,
important.
especially if you've seen Rocky. This is a really heavy moment of the movie because he looks at him and he goes like, "Hey, I gotta stop this fight. Like, kid, I'm gonna do what I should have done." And then he says, "No, you can't stop this fight." He's like, "Kid, there's nothing else you have left to fight for. Like, you've done it all." He's like, "No, I need to prove something." He's like, "Prove what?" He's like, "I gotta prove I'm not a mistake."
Damn.
I was like, "Fuck, dude, there's no need for that." Chill,
I
bro.
was like, all right, Sean. This is. I was like, all right. You know what? This is a good movie.
So you go into that final round, and you can tell he's fighting one eye, can't see, and he's trying to fuck him up. And they're going at it, and when he hits him that one time, and you feel that build up, and he finally got Conlon into a corner, and Conlon couldn't move anymore because he hit so many body shots.
Yeah.
What body shots do is slows you down, and then it makes you drop your hands because you want to stop the body shots.
Yeah, it
so he
hurts.
finally got a clean headshot, and he hits the ground. And I remember I looked around and you see how he fucking hits his chest.
Yeah.
He's flexed up like fucking Brock Lesnar. And I was like, oh shit. This is it. This is the big moment in the movie. I was like,
We did it.
we did it. What
Yeah.
y'all think?
I thought that was the end of it.
I was like, yes.
I really did.
Fuck that guy. We did it.
So
that was actually really exciting for me when he hit the fucking ground. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. We're gonna win. I feel like
Like, this is the end of the movie, right?
Yeah, I feel like we were gonna win. We're gonna get what we want. But then the ref starts doing the 10 count,
10 count.
10 count or whatever, and then he slowly rises to his feet.
and he gets to his feet and that ends the fight. And then when they go to the decision, Conlon won more rounds, so he won the fight.
Which is fair.
Which is
I think Conlon definitely won the fight.
Yeah.
It was also in England, so it's also a little bit of a
there is
Like a home field advantage.
yeah, it's a home field advantage. They won't.
Yeah.
They typically don't let the fighter lose in his hometown.
Okay.
So Conlon wins. Creed's in the ring. Max Kellerman, by the way, that's Max Kellerman from ESPN First Take. Anybody knows who that is? Check him out. He's great. I don't know why I'm giving him a shout out. He probably has way more viewers than we'll ever have in our life.
I mean, he deserves it.
He deserves it. He's very talented.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Max Kellerman is interviewing him in the ring, and he's like, "Hey, what did you think about this fight?" And then he's like, tells him all the stuff, and he's like, "What would you tell to Apollo if you saw him face to face?" And he's like, I'm not necessarily sure what he says, but it's like sentimental
Yeah.
because he never really thought about it. What would he really say to his dad?
Yeah.
I think he says like, "I hope I made you proud." I thought that was like, that's like a pretty symbolic moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really like how the crowd changes. And then I don't know if you don't notice, but they start chanting Creed.
Respect.
Yeah, respect.
That's respect.
Respect. They said, what was it? Connery won the fight, but Creed won the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome.
That was an
thing.
awesome line.
line.
Awesome line.
So Creed wins. They goes to like a faded black, and we come back, and they're walking up those famous stairs,
Those famous
Yeah.
stairs.
Rocky's famous stairs, and they go all the way up,
I
and
was like, man.
they look at the city, and they look at it, and they decide, you know what? It's a good life, right? It is a good life. And the movie ends.
Fade black.
Fade to black.
Anyway.
Boom. So all right. So basically, that's Creed.
That's Creed, man.
What would you all like to say? Basically,
It's,
what did you think? Summarizing it, what did you come out thinking about it?
Like I said before, I've never seen any of the Rocky movies.
That's gonna change.
I think that if you have never seen the Rocky movies, you can watch this movie and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I thought that the story was really good. The music was awesome. I really liked that they didn't pay that much attention to Rocky Balboa because it wasn't about him. He did have his own arc and everything, but in the end, the movie wasn't about him. I mean, the movie's Creed. It's not Balboa or whatever. But it makes me want to see the second one, to be honest.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I hope we can watch that soon. Maybe all three of us. What you, Renee?
Me? Man, this is I guess a film that you can. This is a film about, I guess, a legacy, and holding that legacy to your own standard and working hard to hold that legacy. That's kind of what I see it as. Well, yeah, I love the hell out of that film. It was really good.
I would probably say, coming out of it, it's the closest thing you can get to like a real sports narrative. Like, you get a lot of sports movies and sometimes they get too cheesy.
Yeah.
But I feel like from this movie, I mean, there's definitely unrealistic expectations in certain scenes, you know.
Yeah.
But I do come out of it feeling like this is real. And I really like that, I really like what they were going for with Apollo. Just kind of like that idea that he was fighting for more than just being like, he was trying to make his own, like basically what Renee was saying, his own legacy. And it came out of that film feeling like he went through a lot of struggles. And then to end like that, I thought it was great.
Oh, it's really well put.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, this has been Creed.
And with good old
Seth
Johnson.
Yes,
We're
sir.
definitely going to bring him back soon. Hope you guys want to hear us again soon. So, then again, this is Creed. Seth, any final words?
Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun. It was a long time coming.
It really was.
Yeah.
But I would just say expect me to be back more.
Awesome. All right.
I had a fun time.
All right, that's a promise.